Three, two, one, let's go. Here we are, 401 Sports World Network Fantasy Football Show here on YouTube under 401 Sports World Network. Also, Mr. 411, MisterFourOneone on TikTok and Instagram. We appreciate all the good things. Just quick little cleaning. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and share. Because why calculator?
Sharing is caring, my friend.
Sharing is caring. Absolutely. All right. So we got that business out the way. And now we get down to the nitty gritty. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, notification bell, and share because sharing is caring. In the house is LT, the man on fire, aka Waiver Wire Warrior, aka Larry Stone Cold, aka
Hey,
Larry the Lamp. Larry the Lamp.
yeah, aka the mini draft master right now
Yeah.
as well.
Mini Draft Master. There you go. Another AKA. So LT's loaded, man. What's up, LT?
Hey y'all, what's going on?
Oh, this is gonna be great. Hey, the calculator.
Greetings and salutations. You see, LT is just bursting. Hey, LT don't want to do the news and notes. He don't want to do waiver wire. He wants to go straight to the listener league summary. But LT, we do have a show for the people. We got to give them the info before we go to the listener league because I know you want to get down to business with that. But hey, we'll get through this other stuff as quick as we can.
And what about
Yeah.
waiver wire? Waiver wire notes. I love waiver wire.
Yep, he does. He is the waiver wire warrior.
Well, yeah, the
Yep.
only thing he is the waiver. He lives up to the nickname. So, but I can just see he's just beaming. We know LT's on cloud nine, and we'll tell the people why after we get through our first part of our show.
All right. Well, look, Mr. 401's gonna hide behind his helmet for a little while. But let's get to some of this news and notes, man, especially in Cleveland.
Oh, but well, Mr. 411, we might want to save that. No, we can't. It's the Joe Flacco trade. Yes, Joe Flacco going to the Bengals now. I'm telling you, everybody we knew a trade, and if you were behind the scenes, you knew a trade was coming because the Bengals actually waived Matt White off their practice squad. So that kind of people were there was a signal in the changes that hey, a new quarterback was coming in. Personally, yours truly, I was hoping for a Jameis Winston trade. I was hoping for Jameis Winston to get unleashed onto the fantasy football world in that environment, but he did not. Joe Flacco, the old wily veteran, going to the Bengals. Will he start right away? I don't know. I think personally he's got to get acclimated to the playbook. Won't take him long. I mean, he's a veteran, been to a lot of teams. A lot of times he'll just chuck the ball as far as he can, and hopefully his receivers come down with it. But if anybody saw the first 3 quarters of that Lions Bengals game, they saw they needed to make a change. But then it was crazy. Garbage time hit, and then Jake Browning started looking like Joe Montana. He started throwing the ball on point, and it's crazy. I don't know if he heard whispers of what was going on. That hey, he was looking so bad that because. But they had nobody else, so he did in there. But he made things right. He got the Jamar Chase owners theirs. They got T Higgins some a garbage time touchdown as well. Chase Brown still getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, but at least he's getting positive yards after he's getting hit. But the Joe Flacco, and I'll just tell everybody what I was telling in the production meeting. It's like I am a T Higgins. Chase Brown owner in my fantasy football players championship league. And a partner of mine, I partner up with that because the entry fee is kind of steep. So I try to share the liability with that. He texted me, he said, hey, calculator. He said, how will this affect our situation? And when he says our situation, of course, us owning T Higgins and us owning Chase Brown. And I said, in short, it's not going to hurt us any more than, than we're already being hurt. I mean, we're already benching T. Higgins as it is. We've had the fortunate of, having Rashid Shaheed and having people like Quentin Johnson that we got later in the draft to hit. But I think this is positive. I do say it's a wait and see. I was kind of encouraged by, again, that fourth quarter performance by Jake Browning. But this only can add to optimism on the owners of Jamar Chase, on the owners of T. Higgins, on the owners of Chase Brown, because everybody knows Chase Brown was a product of a Joe Burrow system. That's why he was drafted as such. It's not quite that. P-Ron has been stealing more and more snaps lately, but I think things will change with once Joe Flacco gets. And if Joe Flacco's not starting, you know what that means? That means Jake Browning's doing good. So that's why I think, it's a positive, because if Joe Flacco's not in there, Jake Browning's doing good. If Jake Browning continues to produce subpar, Joe Flacco will take over, because Joe Flacco is what he is what he is. He's a guy with a big arm. Again, a wily veteran. He's not going to run the ball. He's not. He's a kind of statuesque, and he was expendable with the Cleveland Browns, since they have the two rookies that they want to showcase, and they're not going to. Oh, and another reason, Cincinnati, they still think they got a chance. And what do I mean by that? Pittsburgh is the top dog in that division right now. Pittsburgh has Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. He's an old guy. You know what I'm saying? So they are susceptible to, long droughts throughout the season. We saw it last year. Cleveland Browns, they're already mailing in the season, as I think, in my opinion, when they switched to a rookie quarterback. And Baltimore Ravens, only one win. Cincinnati has one more win than Baltimore does at this point, and it could be another loss coming up, because Baltimore, guess what, folks? Hey, you get the LA Rams on deck, and Rams that are coming off of an extended due to playing on Thursday night. They'll be well rested. They'll be a little angry after losing the game they should have won. And yeah, I don't think Lamar will be back too. And we saw what can happen with a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens. What do you think, LT? Do you think this is a good move for the Bengals getting Joe Flacco?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely a good move, because he does have a big arm, and he just came off some decent games, but he wasn't really needed. I mean, he was still throwing. One game he threw for 300, and everything else was around 140, 150 yards. So he does have a big arm, but he just wasn't needed. Now he is at the Bengals, where he is definitely needed.
Yeah, and think about it. Joe Flacco is trading in Jamar Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, or Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I would say that's an upgrade.
He has a lot more talent that he can work with.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I like I said, it can only be a positive, because if we don't see Joe Flacco again, I'll reiterate. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. That means Jake Browning's good. And if Jake Browning's doing good, the owners of T. Higgins and the one thing about Jamar Chase, yes, I sat T. Higgins. I'm a T. Higgins owner in my $350 league. I sat T. Higgins, but again, I had other options. Some people don't have that luxury. Some people might have had. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that had the neighbors T. Higgins combo, early in drafts and stuff like that. So they can't afford to sit T. Higgins on their bench. They got to start, especially if they lost neighbors due to a season-ending injury. So there are a lot of things out there. And like I said, this is welcome news, and we'll got to play it by ear. Again, in my league, where if you have luxury, 10-team leagues, T. Higgins is going to go on my bench. I want to see it, especially this week. You got a tough matchup in I believe Cincinnati, Green Bay. Green Bay.
Yep.
Green Bay defense is a different beast at home. So yeah, I'm going to take another week. Although we did see Dallas show kinks in the Green Bay defense armor, but again, I think that was a lot to do with Green Bay on the road rather than Green Bay at home. So, What
All
do you
right.
think, Mr. 41? You have any comments on the Flacco trade?
Oh well, I mean, with the Flacco trade, I mean, look, there's a domino effect, obviously. Dylan now Gabriel, Dylan or Dylan Gabriel, excuse me, the man with two first names. He's getting a chance now to run the offense full time, and he actually activated a couple of players, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like it was a shot in the arm. He's not better than Flacco, in my opinion, but he's better than Flacco for the Browns right now. Like it's just it was almost like they got a little bit more energy as a team, and I think I'm waiting to see what the effects will be for other players. We see Njoku scored twice. I mean, I'm sorry, he scored in that game, and he was looked very excited about it. Like it just felt like
Yeah.
we might get a resurgence of a couple of players in their offense because they made the switch to the younger quarterback. And then for Flacco, with all those weapons, but the only problem there is the O line. I mean,
O line.
if he does get out there, can he keep those guys, relevant, or can they help elevate Flacco a little bit? So if you're out there looking for a quarterback and in desperate need, you're probably looking to see how this plays out for Cleveland and Cincinnati, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. But yeah, that's what
Okay.
I see with that. But it's breaking news because
All right.
there's also Shadur Sanders
Yeah.
that at some point in time, according to reports, he will be getting a start or a couple opportunities to start too. Um, I guess that's how they're planning all the way out. But we'll see. If Dylan Gabriel is lights out every week, they may not be able to do it. But I think Cleveland is on that. Hey, we're going to, like you said earlier, showcase what we have, and
Yeah.
we're somewhat putting the season. So there's some opportunities here at the bottom here if you're in desperate need of a QB.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No. But yeah, any other notes or news or injuries or anything we need
Yeah,
to fill you on?
we'll go over the injuries. That we like that I really hate doing. Marion Hampton hurt his
Ooh.
ankle, high ankle sprain, has been placed on IR, so he's missing the next 4 games. That will open up some waiver wire material, and we'll go over that when we get to that section. Darius Slayton, a guy that I had mentioned last week, hamstring injury, also had a big drop for what could have been a big touchdown for the Giants. I'm not complaining too much being a Saints fan because that definitely helped the Saints out to get their first win of the game. But hey, caught 3 of 6 targets, 31 yards, but he exited. Still got to wait on severity of that injury. Hamstrings are tricky. Those are more week to week rather than day to day. Jake Ferguson, an apparent left leg injury. However, I hadn't gotten any updates on this. But during the game when he came off, it looked like he was in pain. But again, there was no questionable tag after he exited. So we'll have to look at an update because Ferguson has been a pleasant surprise for a lot of tight end owners out there. One of the few consistent tight ends as well. And another tight end, Brett Ingram, or I'm sorry, Strange, the tight end for Jacksonville, caught a pass for 22 yards early on, but then he got hurt and he got placed on IR today. So we know he's out for the next 4 weeks for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But those are the only injuries that we got to really keep on. Or did I miss any, LT? Do you have any other injuries that might have cropped up?
No, that looks good.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
when y'all get
So,
to listen to Lee, look at my roster, and you'll see some injuries. I lost a kicker. Well, you mentioned Slayton. I know he went down to injury. Strange
oh,
at tight end
Spencer
went down too.
Strader. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's right. Well, I said Brenton Strange. I said him. He
Yeah.
got placed
Okay.
on IR today.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spencer Strader after his two extra points. Although
Yeah.
about him, but another one I did look on 411's roster and I see Saquon Barkley has a Q by his
Uh,
name.
Saquon
yeah.
did have
And what's scary about that is they have a Thursday night game. But
Yeah.
from everything I heard, Mr. 411, it's general soreness is all.
Okay.
Now, Mr. 411, on the waiver wire last week, I mentioned a guy. Theo Johnson.
You sure
Why
did.
did you pick it? Why didn't you? And matter of fact, when I mentioned his name, Mr. 411, you came and said, "Can you repeat that name, calculator?" And I said, Theo Johnson. So all you would have gotten is 2 touchdowns out of him, Mr. 411.
Yeah.
So I can't do much more than that.
I don't know, calculator. I guess if you have Strange on your team, I mean, what's his name
Yeah,
again? Strange or whatever.
yeah,
Like, I'm,
Brenton Strange. Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking that he's gonna start for me this week, so I might be okay. Like, uh,
Yeah, because, and I can't blame you for one. All Brenton Strange has done is gotten 4 receptions, week 1 3 receptions, and then 6 and 6, back to back. So yeah, I can't fault you, Brenton Strange. I think so, but hey, I believe Theo Johnson is still available in 70% of leagues. So he might be a guy that people can rely on in the short term. And I can say that because I picked up in one of my $35 FFPC leagues. I had Brock Bowers, and I did a last minute pickup to get Theo Johnson. So I was very happy
ooh,
to get him in there.
good job, good job.
Uh,
All
but
right,
hey,
so
uh, okay,
no, go ahead,
I'm
calculator.
just looking at no. I was well, we'll talk about studs and duds coming on. So one of the studs I happen to see on LT's bench when I'm looking through these. So you want to throw up some of the studs and duds, Mister 411? Since we go through that, there we go. Jackson Smith, Najigba, just
Whew.
hey, did we not say Sam Darnold last week as a
Yeah,
guy that you could
yeah,
pick up?
yeah.
That we said Tampa Bay had given up top 10 production to the quarterbacks in 2 of the 4 weeks. And one of the beneficiaries of that shootout was Jackson Smith Najigba. I am a proud Jonathan Taylor owner in the Listener League, and he just keeps doing. And the thing is, they had enough to go around because they had some other I can't. They had another backup number 3rd string running back. Amir Abdullah came in and got a touchdown for Indianapolis on the ground in that game.
Crazy.
But yeah, what's crazy, folks? Indianapolis ain't just beating teams; they're blowing teams out. I mean, some of these games aren't even close. So Jonathan Taylor, they didn't even have to need him in part of that 4th quarter. Of course, it was funny because I thought he was out for the rest of the game when I saw Amir Abdullah get that touchdown. But Indianapolis got another turnover, got down to, and they said, "Hey, let's give Jonathan Taylor the hat trick." So they brought him in for a glorified third touchdown. So I got it. But how about Rico Dowdle? Oh my goodness! Hey, folks. You will see it. It was one of those things that, you know, and it wasn't out of nowhere because Chuba Hubbard was hurt pretty much all week, and all Rico Dowdle did was come in and just took over the game. I mean, he was getting chunk yards. I think he had 2 runs over 50 yards, so and he had over 200 yards total. So yeah, that was an impressive feat in itself. But Jamar Chase, again, you see 29 points, 25 of those points was in the 4th quarter. so take that what you will. But we've always said on this show, for Garrett Wilson, for Fields, garbage points are still points. We don't care how we get them. Justin Fields. If you get all your points in the 4th quarter, if you do the Blaine Gabbert, Allen Robinson combo, we'll take it. But oh man, I like that. How about that with Jackson Smith and the Jackson Smith and the Jigba, Sam Darnold to Dak Smith? You weren't upset with that, but I know there were a lot of Mayfield Abuka combinations too. And Mr. 4-1 and LT, you tell me, is Baker Mayfield, should he not be the lead candidate for MVP? This man is winning
Yeah.
game after game, banged up offensive line. Mike Evans hurt. Godwin still still not 100%. Lost Bucky Irvin 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
I mean, and all they're doing is winning ball games. So hey, I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield is an early season MVP, especially with Lamar Jackson hurt and Josh Allen losing to the Patriots. Early season now. hey, Tampa Bay 0 wins this year without Baker Mayfield on that team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's a MVP candidate, like a top. I'll say he's a top MVP candidate right now.
Yeah,
And
right now.
the perfect storm is what you said. The Ravens are not winning games right now. Then now Jackson is injured, so he's going to miss more time. So statistically, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of pushing him
Yeah.
behind.
Mhm.
Buffalo, if they don't, if right now, Allen, he's who he is, but sometimes, a couple games here that's kind of pedestrian, whether it's
Yep.
blowouts or whether it's this or that. So it feels like it's the perfect storm for somebody like this with a great story as well. And the team is winning. And they may
Yeah.
win that division in the South. That all and then all the injuries that you mentioned, like it's a great recipe for somebody to win MVP. So as long as they continue to do what they're doing, he's definitely gonna be top two candidate this
Yeah,
season.
and if you look at Tampa Bay, it's not. I mean, they're having injuries, but the one
Yeah,
injury they don't have is their quarterback. You take Baker Mayfield off that team, this team loses game after game because I mean, and they're not hard, they're not easy games. He's going to tough opponents, and that Seattle was coming in. That defense was top 5 defense
yeah,
in the league, and Baker Mayfield was able to put up touchdown drive after touchdown drive to
yeah.
win
Well,
that
I know.
game.
I watched it. I know, Caitlin.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's right. You're already Seattle owner. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. You're
sat
right.
there
You're
and
right.
then dealt with that all day, and the Seahawk fan on top of that. So
Yeah.
and this was
Yeah. And a Seahawks defensive owner. I'm sure LT was enjoying that game as he was your
yeah.
opponent this past week.
Yeah, it was torture. And man, let me tell y'all, I was looking forward to this game because Tampa Bay, Seattle, they came into the league together. They were young
Oh
teams
man.
in the league.
And they had the
You
throwback
know, they
uniforms.
had the two of the greatest uniforms of all time
Yep.
going
Yep.
on. Like that Seahawk, that blue and the silver right there with that Seahawk, and then
Hey,
Tampa Bay with
was
their
that Jim Zorn behind the center out there,
man.
man, touching the ball?
Man, Zorn and Largent and Steve Largent,
Largent.
man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were reincarnated
Yep.
on that day. And but like it was fun to watch. They had the 50 pack
Yep.
Seahawks and all this stuff was going on during the weekend. But man, it was a tough game, man, to deal with as a fan. But it was still enjoyable because it brought back a lot of memories. Just seeing those two uniforms out there together at the same time. All they needed to do
That
was
was
just
awesome.
bring back the all they had to do was bring back the kingdom. It would have been perfect. But
Oh
hey,
man.
yeah, but that's okay. But hey, man, it was a high scoring game, and if you had any of these players, and true story, in another league that I'm in, I have both of those receivers. So just
Oh,
imagine.
Ibuka and Jay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
that was
that's very
crazy.
possible. JSN, get him in the 3rd round, and if you got Ibuka in the 5th round, you're sitting
It
good.
yeah,
So
it
yeah,
fell that way.
hey,
You know.
yep, yep.
So
So hey,
so if you
good
have
job
both
on Mr.
those receivers,
411.
you have a lot of stats. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
But again, that doesn't matter because we're talking about listener league people. But just wanted to share that because
yeah,
I mean just to show you that hey, sometimes if
yeah,
the
and
draft
I
may fall your way and you end up with a stud later on that you didn't expect to be a stud.
yeah, and I think Ibuka made some history
Yeah.
yesterday, if I'm not
Oh, he
mistaken.
did.
Did he not? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at yeah, look at that, folks. First 5 career games, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. That is rarefied. Man, when you're going back to Willie Galt, I mean,
Yeah.
something special. But if what's crazy is you would think, I mean, the guy is a rookie. So that's what just amazing is not just a rookie,
Crazy.
but the first 5 games. Just yeah, but Jamar Chase and Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin was a surprise because I don't remember them having that good quarterback in 2019. But he was still getting open. But yeah, Randy Moss. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, everybody knows Randy Moss. That was you just throw it up in the air, and a lot of times he came down with it. So
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Ibuka, great route runner, came from a great system in college. So yeah, you I and I'm not gonna lie. If you watched our draft show, I was surprised at the pick with Tampa Bay. Wasn't surprised from a talent standpoint. I was surprised with they just gave Chris Godwin a bag of money. They still have Mike Evans. They still had McMillan, the rookie they drafted last year that played the same position at Ibuka. But guess what? Godwin hurt, set back in his return. McMillan got hurt in training camp, and now Ibuka is a top 5 receiver through the first 5 weeks of the year. So I think that's pretty impressive.
Amazing. Amazing.
Mhm.
And there's some tight ends that did well.
Man, and thinking of, oh my goodness, Jake Ferguson continues to impress. I mean, Jake Ferguson couldn't score a touchdown to save his life last year. Now he's scoring them in bunches with the resurgent Dallas Cowboys offense. AJ Barner, Seattle, man, tight ends, and the thing is, they got a little rookie tight end that if AJ Barner keeps producing, that the rookie tight end can't get out there to showcase his skills. For one knows something I'm talking about. Yeah, we talked about him in the draft review of how special he was coming out of Miami. A great tight end. Theo Johnson, hey, we said it on the show 2 weeks, our last show last week. If you were in dire need of help, get some Theo Johnson. The thing is, their other tight end, Bellinger, did come back, took some routes away, but Theo Johnson, Jackson Dart still liked him when it comes to the red zone. Kelsey, welcome back. Typical Kelsey on a Monday night doing his thing. And Sam Laporta, welcome back. The calculator welcomes you because I am a Laporta owner in the Listener League, and I needed him, and I needed every one of those points. So, but look at those, just the top running backs, Rico Dowdle, Kyron Williams, that Thursday night got his owners an early present, but Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. And word on the street is Bill. Just call him Bill. He's so good he eats Chick-fil-A on Sundays, is from what I heard. What I'm saying? So
That's
he
pretty
can
good.
so he can do no wrong. Got 2 touchdowns, got his owners a lot of win. Fortunately, I played unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I played him in 2 leagues, but fortunately, in the leagues I played, I did pull out the win due to some me dodging line things, but I was the benefit of a guy needed Brenton Strange on Monday night and didn't. And when him get injured, that kind of locked the victory up for that guy who had Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt to keep it close. But Stefon Diggs, goodness gracious, it was like he was going against his old team or something, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
It's like, 10 receptions, 140 plus yards. That was that kept him in the game. If anybody, and it wasn't just those weren't regular catches. 70% of his catches were for first downs. So they were crucial catches, and that's what helped them win that game against the Buffalo Bills. Dalton Kincaid, his first 100-yard game of his young career. But guess what? After this performance, folks, Dalton Kincaid is the tight end 2 on the year. That's right, ahead of Kelsey, ahead of Bowers, ahead of McBride, ahead of all those guys that you drafted ahead of Kincaid. He is ahead of them. The only guy ahead of him is Tyler Warren on the year. So that's kind of impressive in itself. And Ramondre Stevenson, 1 fumble. They it was crazy after the fumble. Again, I think he has 6 fumbles on the year, Mr. 4-1. It's absurd, but he keeps getting carries. They had this awesome rookie Trayvon Henderson that people were drafting in the first 2 rounds can't get on the field. They keep giving Ramondre Stevenson a touchdown. And LT, offer's still there, buddy. I'll still give you Ramondre Stevenson and Dak Prescott for Josh Allen. I'll do it on site. I'll put it through on the podcast if you do not believe me. And Mr. 4-1, I think Dak Prescott outscored Josh Allen by himself this week. So I'm just, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
What you want to do, LT? What you want to do, LT? We live
4
here.
touchdowns.
No, not a chance. No way.
Not a chance.
I don't want no Cowboys on my team. I'm not having Cowboys. No.
He wants no Cowboys.
Oh man, hey,
no Cowboys.
See, my fandom. Hey, my fandom goes out the window when it comes to fans because the money does the talking to the calculator. So if I have a chance to better my team, I'll do it. But yeah, hey, Dak Prescott, 4 touchdowns, and he's running more, Mister 411. That's what a lot of people don't understand. He's getting back to his early days where when he don't see his third read. Oh, and guess what, folks? He don't have CD Lamb right now. Just imagine what happens when CD Lamb comes back. Oh, it's going to be glorious for Dak Prescott owners. Oh, I'm an owner of Dak Prescott. Of course, I'm going to say that. So yeah, it's I think But Baker Mayfield, Patrick, Sam Darnold, I love those. Kareem Hunt, those Monday. I mean, he just came in, and if it was 5 yards and in, and you know what, the Chiefs earned a valuable lesson though. The only reason they lost that game, they were on the 1 yard line, got cute. Patrick Mahomes gets picked off, and Jacksonville returns an interception to the house, a pick six, 99-yard return. All they had to do, Mr. 4-1, hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt. He was scoring 5-yard touchdowns from the 5 yard twice. Why don't you give it to him on the goal line? I don't understand it. I think they learned a valuable lesson in that. But yeah, duds, Quentin Johnson, Woody Marks, even though, hey, it was the Nick Chubb show. You know, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Injury.
But hey, Mr. 4-1, you're a former Geno Smith.
What's that?
I didn't have him on my injury report.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought Woody came out with an injury. Weren't they talking about that during the game?
Well, I mean, he rotated drives. I didn't see anything about injuries. I pulled it up,
Okay.
So but they're saying game script kind of had a thing that they got that big lead on Baltimore, and they just wanted to pound the big guy, Nick Chubb, before they're saying if it was a more close game, Woody Marks probably would have been in more. But game script, they said, kind of got him out and gave Nick Chubb all the love. But is it time to worry on Geno Smith, Mr. 411?
Well, I mean, if you're a Raiders fan or Geno owner, yeah. But other than that, I mean, this is Geno, right? This is what he gives you. Next week he might throw for 300 yards. You know what I'm saying? At home against a team, a winnable opponent, he may give you that 300-yard game. But when you get on that Geno Smith roller coaster, you're going to have the ups and the downs. He's going to throw it to both teams throughout the season. And I mean, that's what you have to. That's a chance you take when you get on that ride. I don't know where they go from there. I don't know who you would pick up from here. Maybe James, if you can get a James Winston, maybe that would help. But I mean, where do you go from here if you're the Raiders, other than just ride it out with them?
Yeah, and they paid him, some a good amount of money. So yeah, I'm with you, and it's not like, but you said interceptions. I mean, although the Raiders pick up Kenny Pickett as a backup, so
Oh yeah, he is over there.
Take
right?
that for what. So if you get Kenny Pickett, though, how many games are you going to get out of him before he gets hurt? I remember he finally got his chance with Philadelphia, got hurt game 1. So
there'll be a couple picks from Pickett too. They'll pick it off too from Pickett. Yeah.
And I'll throw this to LT. Jameson Williams for Detroit. Is there a cause for concern for that guy? I mean, is this a long-term issue? Or is this like a buy low, see if you can go and get him and see if he turns it around?
Yeah, I would definitely be trying to trade for him. It's very possible he does turn it around. But right now he's just not playing well. And it could be game script or it could be the quarterback.
Because I mean, I hadn't seen Detroit hadn't played a close game yet. Detroit has either gotten blown out like they did in week 1 against Green Bay, or they've blown their last 3 opponents out. They did have Jameson Williams did have that good game against Chicago, but that was a relatively close game early on, and that could be it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these hadn't been close, and I think Jameson Williams is kind of the thing. And I think the best time to try to trade for him would be now. And the reason I say is you don't want him to have that big game, because as soon as he has that big game, he's coming off the market. And recently, I'll just tell you, LT, I traded for Jameson Williams, and so I could be a little biased, but in one of my leagues, in my Atlanta league, I did a 2-for-1. I had Brian, the wide receiver for Jacksonville, Brian Thomas, right? I traded Brian Thomas for Ted McMillan and Jameson Williams, double flex league. So what I've been doing is I've been starting RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins as one is my running back and the other one flex, and it's just hard to carry two running backs and play them in the same game. So that's why I wanted an extra flex. Now Jameson Williams got outscored by RJ Harvey this past week, but I just wanted that thing because especially with bye weeks, I think Jameson Williams will turn it around. I just think it's one of those things that it's been like you said it perfectly, LT, game script dependent. So I think Jameson Williams will come back and do his thing. So folks, if you want to trade now, he does have a bye coming up in week 8, so be cognizant of that fact if you want to trade for him. But I think I might make a few offers. Like I said, I already got him in one league, for Brian Thomas Jr. Just because, well, first of all, I like Ted McMillan. I really wanted Ted McMillan because this is a league I need to win in now. Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't doing it for me. Ted McMillan had a good matchup this last week and has a good matchup this week. So I needed these 2 wins. So I won last week. Hopefully I can win this week. And Jameson Williams, hopefully I can, withstand. I know I need to win now, but, hopefully that he'll turn it around, coming up soon. So I can, but again, he was the throw-in. Because I definitely wasn't going to do Brian Thomas Jr. for Tet straight up. I wanted somebody to throw in. I thought Jameson Williams, it was on this guy's bench. He had a deep bench. Do you think that was a good trade, LT? Brian Thomas 2-for-1?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because Brian Thomas Jr. was underperforming, at the time. So, but yeah, that was pretty much in there. But hey, since this is one of your things, Mr. 411, LT, I just want to say we'll go to the waiver wire section. Look at some of those waiver wire targets. Michael Carter, hey, this was after our podcast last week that Trey Benson went on IR, so we weren't able to alert people to Michael Carter. Hey, he got most of the touches this past week, so he is definitely the guy to look at. What I say helps Michael Carter, even though he was inefficient. You had the Amari DeMarcado fumble right at the goal line, the boneheaded play. That's not going to keep you in starting lineups doing something like that. But hey, what about Mason Taylor? Now, hey, if you're in the listener league, Mason Taylor's probably not going to be on the waiver wire because we have waiver wire warriors mining the tight end field. Who's the Mason Taylor owner in the listener league? LT. That's
probably
right.
The same person.
Mason Taylor.
Probably the same person that had Brock Bowers and woke up on Sunday morning knowing that he didn't have a tight end. So I picked up Mason Taylor, and he got me almost 18 points.
Yep. Hey, and even though a lot of those were in the fourth quarter, we take them. But we don't care how we get the points. We'll take them when we get them. And you brought it up last week, LT. Kendre Miller, if he's still out there, folks. Another week where he actually had more running back runs than
Alvin
Kamara. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Although I was listening to the late round podcast from JJ Zacharian, and he said that Kendre Miller is more of a game script running back. Anytime the Saints will play close games where they can run the ball, he'll get it. But if they're in a negative game script, that is where Kamara's workload will increase. So just keep that in mind. Theo Johnson, we brought it up last week. Hey, 55.5% roster. So in a lot of leagues, he's still out there. Now, here's the key. We talked about Omarion Hampton injury. Who are you going for, LT? Are you going for Hassan Haskins or Kamani Vidal for in the Chargers backfield? Who do you like better out of those two?
I believe they're both going to be very useful, but to me, I'm going Haskins because Haskins
Okay.
he already has a past with the coach. They
Yeah.
were already
Yep. When he
together
was with Michigan.
in college, so they know each other
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah. So I'm the guy. List. If you were in the thing, make a bid on both of them.
Sure,
But when I say
a
make a bid,
dollar bid.
don't do yeah, exactly. And don't do separate bids. Do same bids on, but like I said, a contingent play. And the reason I say that is because I don't want both of them on my field. I just want one of them. And I'll just take the one. Actually, that's why I might get Vidal LT, because even though I like Haskins more, I think a lot of people like Haskins more. So I think I might be able to get Vidal a little cheaper. Kind of like, and we had this situation last year, if people remember, in the Chiefs backfield. Remember when Pacheco got hurt? We had, what was that guy that was the big? It was guy, and then Kareem Hunt was there was like three guys. CEH was in the conversation. Another guy, I can't remember his name right off the bat, but he was in there. He fumbled his first carry, but Kareem Hunt was in the woods. And I always said, hey, I like the cheapest guy in an uncertain backfield, just because I don't want to spend that much. But hey, Sam Darnold only 14% on. Hey, we saw Seattle. Sam Darnold is a very capable quarterback for you. He's got weapons, which is always a good thing. And I mean, a favorable, yes, Jacksonville and Houston, tough matchups on the horizon. Then a bye week for week 8. But get this, week 9, one of the worst secondaries in the league, the Commanders. Week 10, Arizona. Week 12, Tennessee. Week 13 and 14, Minnesota, Atlanta, indoors. So yeah, that's he's got some favorable matchups in the future. So yeah, I like him. And Brashard Smith, they saying he's growing more and more into the McKinnon role. So I think his rostership. But yeah, I would look out there, Mr. 41, Mr. 41 LT. If Darnell Moody's out there, hey, I wouldn't mind picking him up. I mean, he's a great number 2 receiver when healthy. They just had their bye week, so no more bye weeks. So hopefully he could use that time to get healthy. But another one, folks, Kenneth Gainwell. The reason I'm saying that is maybe people didn't pick it. I mean, I would have picked him up after 2 weeks, but a lot of people might not have had the luxury, for a bye week. But they're coming off the bye week, and if you're in a Arthur Smith offense, you get the ball no matter how good your other guys. But another guy that kind of we mentioned him after he went hot, but then he's went kind of unknown. I like Troy Franklin, the wide receiver from the Denver Broncos, and especially, and this is the week to get him. And I have Troy Franklin in multiple dynasty leagues, and the reason I say that is this week, folks, they're playing the New York Jets. The New York Jets have siphoned, just given away boatloads of points to the number 2 receivers, because Sauce Gardner takes out. He shadows the number 1 receiver, who in this point would be Cortland Sutton for the Broncos. That's going to leave Troy Franklin against terrible cornerbacks against a team with terrible pass rush. So I really like Troy Franklin, not only as a pickup, but especially for this week, because I think if he has one more blow-up game, it's going to be hard to get. So get him while he's cheap. Folks, so Troy Franklin, not only a good waiver wire addition, but hey, I think he's a good add. I mean, granted, this isn't a real big bye week. I mean, this bye week is just, you only got 2 teams on a bye in, Minnesota and Houston. So, your Mason, the running back for Minnesota, and then, Woody Marks, for Houston, if you were starting him, but Nico Collins is out. But yeah, Nico Collins, if you need a guy to fill up that wide receiver spot, Troy Franklin. I'm telling you, folks, Troy Franklin. I guarantee the calculator is guaranteeing double digits this week against that Jets defense. Do you have any other guys you want to bring up?
Yeah, I've got a couple for you, Mr. Calculator. How about with all the buys last week, Tyler Algier may have been dropped.
Yep.
If he has been dropped, now would be a good time to pick him up. I also have one that I need a little more information about it. Now, they have been saying in the whispers that Brees Hall may be traded. Now, if Brees Hall gets traded, you need to go out and pick up Isaiah Davis.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, and with the Jets falling further and further out of contention, I mean, you could see Brees Hall going to one of those to an Arizona team that needs a running back. The Chargers, the first place Chargers. I mean, they need a running back right now. There, I mean, who would you rather have, Brees Hall or Haskins and Vidal? I think you would rather have Brees Hall. I know they might not do that
Okay.
because they have Amari and Hampton. They have draft capital, but still, it'd be a good guy to have to plug holes. But yeah, I'm with you. If Brees Hall, Isaiah Davis is a great stash. Oh, and hey, what about Kendrick Bourne, folks? Hey, did you see what he did last week? 10 targets, or 11 targets, 10 catches, 142 yards against the Rams on Thursday night from Mac Jones. So yeah, that word is that Pearsall and Jennings could be back due to the long week
Yeah,
due
this
to
week.
them Thursday night. So that's a little temper your enthusiasm. But watch the waiver wire. Kendrick Bourne showed he's capable to carry a team. You know, with that thing. And I'm gonna, hey, Mister, I'm still in the belief all Torrey Horton is doing. He's doing the Chris Carter, Mister 411. Torrey Horton, all he's doing is catching touchdowns right now. You know what I'm saying? So and for those people that get those bonus yards for kick returns, I'm in a couple leagues that for every 25 yards in special teams, you can get a point for 25. And he returns kicks. So yeah, yeah. Oh, and that shootout, 30 snaps. That's the season high. So, oh, hey, only more and more thing. We highlighted him on the draft show since that's Mr. 401's team that he likes to watch. Torrey Holton is a guy that is electric, and he can definitely help you out in the bye weeks.
He's definitely the future of Seattle. Cooper Cup is the bridge, and on the other side of that bridge would be Torrey Horton and Jackson Smith and Jigba as the duo in Seattle. So something setting up
Yeah,
pretty, real and pretty in Seattle with a 1-2 punch at receiver.
yeah, and I
Longer.
want to apologize to everybody that picked Tolbert up this week since Turpin and CeeDee Lamb was out, because then Flournoy came in for the Cowboys
Who?
and career high in targets, 8, 6, and 114 yards. Yes, Flournoy, Ryan Flournoy. I can't. I have to put him on the waiver wire list just for a guy that gets over 100 yards, right?
Yeah.
So this could be a flash in the pan. But hey, it's a great story to see a guy. But yeah, it wasn't a great story for those people that picked up Jalen Tolbert, thinking he was going to get lots of targets because he wound up with the goose egg. So
Yeah. Yep. And hey, man, in San Francisco, man, think about that from Thursday. We had the Bourne again Christian with Bourne
yeah.
and Christian McCaffrey
Oh,
combination, man. So it's
man, if
San
Christian McCaffrey would just get touchdowns to go along with his touch, do you know he's on pace to set the single season reception record for running backs? So that's just something to keep in mind. But he's the only one healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, who are you going to trust if you're San Francisco when you got an open Christian McCaffrey or Bourne? Well, they trusted Bourne, but if you saw that game, Bourne got tired because he was running all those routes. So, but Christian McCaffrey was out there and doing his thing. So I think that's interesting. But yeah, if you're if you're not in our league, the listener league, Mason Taylor is definitely a pickup because it looks like the Jets are going to be in play from behind play scripts for the rest of the year.
Yes, sir. And there's the bye weeks. Week 6, but Houston and Minnesota. Are we looking at the right week there? Yeah,
Yep.
Houston and Minnesota will be
Houston,
out.
Minnesota, yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, go ahead.
One
You
more
good.
waiver
So,
wire.
and
One
with
more
that,
waiver wire issue. Give me
okay.
one more waiver wire issue. I
Oh,
woke
what
up
is it?
Sunday
Let's
morning.
do it.
Sunday morning, I'm going through all my teams, making sure everybody's healthy, everybody's playing. I have a team that has Lamar Jackson, Bucky
Oh,
Irving, and
oh,
Brock Bowers.
Oh,
I had to
oh,
go find 3 people on the waiver wire
no.
right before game time. That was absolutely brutal.
man, that is, man. Who did you find, by the way?
I picked up Jackson Dart.
Okay,
I did pull out Darren Waller,
okay.
and luckily I had somebody on my bench that I could throw in the flex spot.
Okay. We have to call you Red Lobster, man. Like all this deep sea fishing that you're
Deep,
doing, man. You
deep
know what I
sea
mean?
diving.
Yeah, you out there, man, in the ocean fishing, man. But yeah, but that's what I mean. But you are the wave wire warrior, LC. Got to give you that.
Yeah, you felt the Mason Taylor this week, didn't you, in the listener league?
Yeah, that wasn't cool, man. That wasn't cool. But hey, man, you got to take the punches, man. In this league, man, it makes you
Yep.
stronger. LT makes you stronger.
It does.
All right. Okay, so I guess we're heading into. Let's see here. Boom. There we
There
are.
we
Listener
go.
league. Speaking of
And
listener
no,
league, LT,
no,
there it
we were
is.
talking. That's right. We were talking in our production meeting, and LT said, "I didn't check what's going on. What happened in the listener league?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "I just happened to play a guy that scored the most points in the league for his season, and had the second most points this week, and I still won." So, so hey, I've said, hey, I don't like to brag or bring attention to myself. But
You don't.
I will, yeah, I will only go. Jonathan Taylor's been solid for me, but as long as Jamar Chase and my quarterback goes, that's how far I would. If they have, bad weeks, I have bad weeks. So luckily they have it because look, if you look at the guy I played, Patrick Mahomes, he had Jake Ferguson in his 23 points, Stefon Diggs in his best game of the year. I mean, look, he had 18 points from his kicker, Mr. 411. He has
That's
17 points from
crazy.
his defense. So, but he still lost. And this is to the Showcase Brooks, our champion from 4 years ago. Our debut champion of the Listener League. He won the very first year
Yeah.
of the Listener
Yeah, he
League.
did.
Due to but he's had a rough go of it because I'm sure he thought he had. I thought he had it when I saw his kicker and defense is doing that. But the Jamar Chase fourth quarter, and then Laporta doing his thing throughout the game kind of sealed the deal for me. But matchup of the week was Beast Mode versus 411. As you can see, it
The
was a
pre.
rock fight. As
Yeah.
so but it was one of those things. Although Barkley got you his point, but yeah, the med students came out for you, Mr. 411, because as you see, Darius Slayton. Yeah. They came and got Darius Slayton for you, took him to the locker room during the game. Brenton Strange after his 22-yard catch in the first quarter. I'm sure you had high hopes. Nope, they came and got him. And then Spencer Schrader, the top kicker in the league, got
Yeah.
hurt on a point after and went on IR. So yeah, it was one of those weeks that just and then but hey, you got to give credit to LT. He made that last minute pickup of Mason Taylor on Sunday morning when he
Yep.
saw Brock Bowers, and if you look at it, that 17 points, that was the game right there. You won by 15. I said the Mason Taylor pickup, one LT. Well, Mason Taylor, a combination of injuries on the other side,
Right.
But hey, that
It
that
worked.
we that's it worked. But just a preview. I take on Carter's Peanuts. To see. Hopefully, I can get that keep going. Mr. 411, you're going against the fourth place team. So that might be a pretty good matchup
That's a
between
big
you
game.
and Fly Zone Liam. That's right. And Captain Cosmo, our very own Zach in the house, going against LT and the Beast Mode LT to see how that goes. So we'll definitely see how that goes next week when we we'll go over the listener league again next week. But let's just go with the standings real quick. Bet on Bricks, and hey, the 72 Dolphins
Yeah.
Pop the cork because our last unbeaten lost this past week. So it looks like it could be a tight race, as always in the listener league. And that's why I really like my 660 points because that's what'll help you in tiebreaker. But just look at Brooks. I mean, he has the most points in the league. Brooks does,
Yeah.
but one win. That just goes. He has what LT had 2 years ago. Most points in the league.
Yep.
But although LT showed you, LT went on that run. He used that tiebreaker to get in as the 6th seed, and just mow through the competition. So, hey, Brooks, have no fear. Keep doing what you're doing. You're not going to have to go against high points every week. I do not believe. So just keep
Yep.
setting that lineup, and luck should come your way pretty soon. So.
The goal is to finish in the top six and make the
So
playoffs. That's what you got to do. You got to make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's what you're
that's
trying to
right.
do. Get in.
That's right. I make. Yep. Just get in, and then see what happens after that. And
Congratulations,
and and now
LT,
to
on the
LT's
victory.
second favorite part. Yeah, yeah. Congratulations. Oh, and not only the victory in the listener league, but another dominating performance from the 3-hole in the mini draft. If
Wow.
just people want to see just a quick recap, another 90-point. Like I said, anything over 70 points is good in the mini draft. I was doing good, Mr. Full. I thought I was doing great with Fields and
Hmm.
Gibbs and St. Brown. I said, oh man, I got a chance. And then I said, whoa, LT's got. I was getting my close to 20. LT was getting over 20 with Nakua and Ferguson and Mahomes tipping it off. Another 90 plus points for LT. Congratulations, LT. LT, you might not want another spot. You might want to keep that 3-hole. But
Yeah.
see, just to let you people know that we don't mess with the algorithm, I'm going to shuffle the entrance here. There we go. And one more shuffle, kind
Okay.
of like shuffling the deck and cutting. There we go. So now let's see if see what happens. Who gets first pick?
All right. Listener league. We're using the stats from our listener league, and that
Oh,
is points per reception. Hey, let's go 4-1. All right. We a little
I
extra weight
can't
was placed
believe
on the
it.
wheel,
Man,
but we'll take it. We'll take the number one pick. All right, for this mini draft. But hey, we also use 0.25 per carry in the
and
listener league, and we use
I'm
that
about
in
to
this
say,
league.
yep.
Oh,
So Mr. 401 has first pick again.
yes.
And let's see. Hey, LT might just want to stay in the 3-hole.
Come on, calculator. Come on,
I can't.
calculator.
Oh,
Yes.
look at that. It stayed the
LT gets
same.
the.
It's
Oh,
amazing
unbelievable!
how
And
things
folks,
may.
y'all saw me. I literally shuffled it 3 times on air to try and randomize it as much as I can. But
You
hey,
know
it
what
was
that
meant
is,
to
gentlemen?
be. It was
You know
meant
what
to
it is,
be.
gentlemen?
So let me get out of
The more
here.
things, calculator,
What is it?
calculator. The more things change, the more things stay the
What?
same.
More, yeah. All that shuffling and all that things we do, it still comes back to me in the, in the grace of Thanos. So, Mr. 411, you have your pick of the litter, so to speak.
All right. So the last couple of weeks, my strategy has backfired. So we're gonna go more traditional here. We're going Puka Nakua with the first pick.
Ah, I was going to go Puka Nakua, so I was not going to
Oh,
let
okay.
LT get him 2 weeks in a row. So,
Not
Nakua.
scared of that Baltimore defense.
But no,
Ray
no,
Lewis is
I
not
don't think
walking through that
anybody's
door.
scared of that Baltimore defense. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think anybody's scared of that defense. And on that same note, I'm going to go same team and Kyron Williams because
Ooh, okay.
I want some of those points against that depleted defense. Um, if Nick Chubb can score 2 touchdowns, I mean, Kyron Williams has got to score 2 touchdowns. Wouldn't you think, Mister 411?
Hey man, that's what the trend.
So,
It says it.
yeah, all right,
And man, who would
all
have
right,
thought that we'll
LT.
be picking on? But who would have thought we've been picking on the
What?
Ravens defense?
I mean, it's crazy how things change when you get because Rokon Smith, if he's still out, Kyle Hamilton missed a game. So when you're missing, I think they did a little thing on the thing. The Ravens were missing $150 million in salary cap due to injuries just this past game. 150.
Wow,
There's only a $220 million salary cap, folks. So that's a lot. That's because not only were they missing players, they were missing stars on their
that's
offense and
insane.
defense. So, hey, LT, you got back
Insane.
to back returning winner. See if you can keep the mojo going.
Let's definitely see if we can keep the mojo going. I will. Let's start off with Amon-Ra St. Brown
Ooh, okay.
Okay,
St. Brown.
playing Kansas City this week.
could be a
Very
shootout.
good.
Could be a
Could
Yep.
shootout.
be a shootout, but I'm
Yeah, and
also
can
not
and can
scared.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
I'm not
Kansas City.
scared. I'm
Oh, go ahead,
definitely
Elsie.
not.
What you not scared of?
I'm not scared of Carolina. Give me Jake Ferguson.
Oh, he's
Oh,
going back to him.
Going
hey, he's
back to
hot,
the
man.
well.
That tight end, he's on fire.
He is.
Yeah, and I
He
don't.
is.
And since you guys both took wide receivers, I don't need to take mine. I'll just take mine last. So that means all the quarterbacks are available to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how can you not? Oh man, when I have so many
Yeah, so many to
available
choose
to
from, bro.
me, I'm going. Well, I'm gonna stay in the tight end section because I don't want to take a chance. Although Mr. 41 never takes a tight end with his first pick, he always takes him last. So I'm not going to take my tight end because I think 411. Now he could take a tight end, but I don't think he's going to take my tight
I
end.
don't know which
So I'm going
one's
to go.
available.
Yeah, I'm just going to go. Hey, I got to go with Granted, he's he's indoors. It could be a team that that might be able to score against their defense, or will cause them to score. Hey, Josh Allen. I mean, he is the he's the top running quarterback that can put up. He can on any given game in our scoring system where you get the points per carry. At any time he can score 40, 45, 50 points like he did against Baltimore. So okay,
All
Mr.
right.
411, you need a quarterback, a running back, a tight end.
Oh, I need three. Oh, but I get to pick two, so that's good. All
Yeah, you only
right.
Back to
can
back.
pick two, but those are the three positions you need.
Okay. Um. Oof. I'm, I'm definitely going to take a running back with my next pick, and then a quarterback. Okay, so I'm going to do that much for you. Running back. Let me go with Wow, this is interesting. Well, we use PPR so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Christian McCaffrey.
Hey.
I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's super involved. I just got to go with him.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, the PPR is huge for him. He don't need to score touchdowns to get 20 points a game.
Right, and since he can do that and not score,
Mhm.
I mean, I can't lose by having him on the team. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's another backs
Correct.
that I had my eye on. Of course they were, but I mean, you can't lose with Christian McCaffrey as long as he's playing the whole game. So
Right.
I'm gonna go with Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey.
Well, they are playing. They
All
are
right.
playing Tampa Bay this week, and hopefully you get Ricky Pearsall back.
That well, yeah, that too. All right. Let me get a
All right,
quarterback
Mr.
and look
41.
at some of these. All right, let's see who's playing the Jets this week. Did anybody get a quarterback against the Jets? Oh, Bo Nix. That's tough.
Vote.
Um, wow. Ooh. All right. I have to live on the edge sometimes, so I'm going to do this. I'm going with. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going with a quarterback that I haven't used all season. Patrick Mahomes.
Uh,
He's at home, big game. I know he's going to get me 2 or 3 touchdowns this week. I feel it.
But yeah, well, they're going to need to try it because they're going to they know Detroit's going to be able to score, so they're going to have to try and do their best to keep up.
Yeah, and
Um,
if Detroit's scoring a lot, Mahomes gonna have more opportunity.
and just like I said, Mr. Foreman would not get a tight end, so the tight end I
Nope.
wanted fell to me, and Tyler Warren.
All right, Tyler Warren.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
And then there's one tight end left.
Yep, that you'll be able to get with your last pick. So LT,
Oh,
you
I
need a
get the
quarterback and a
pick.
running back.
So I got 30 to choose from.
Exactly. So, well,
I
there's only
believe
one to choose
expected.
from, in my opinion, that you should pick. But it's your team, so you can pick who you want.
Yeah,
All right, LT,
yeah.
you got quarterback and running back.
One of the I there's only two running backs for me to choose, and it's just really like splitting hairs. So let's go with Jonathan Taylor in the dome
Oh,
at Arizona. It was a toss up between him and Josh Jacobs, especially
hey,
this
Jonathan,
week.
you can't go wrong with Jonathan Taylor.
No,
So,
he's
but
been a
yeah, oh
beast
man, Josh
this
Jacobs
season.
against Cincinnati. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd been a good one too. Hey, good for pointing that out for our listeners, folks. If you're playing daily, if you can spin down at wide receiver and then hit up with a Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs combo, I think you'll be doing pretty good.
All right, since you went with Patrick Mahomes, let's go ahead and take Chicago defense. Let's take Jaden Daniels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Monday night.
Yeah. You're gonna try to close the show.
Oh, and folks, speaking of daily, when I just said spin down on receiver, that's why I'm saying Troy Franklin is a great play in cash leagues and tournament plays because that'll save you money to load up on those running backs that we just talked about. So I just wanted to put that out there, Mr. 411, before my pick.
Yeah.
But the guy I like, I mean, I could go Jamar Chase. I could go, I can't go Justin Jefferson though, can I? Because I think Minnesota's on a bye, so can't go Justin Jefferson. But no, I love. Okay, when we talk about positive regression, regression's a bad word, but there is such thing as called a positive regression. I have not seen a guy with the amount of catches, amount of yards without a touchdown, with the exception of Trey McBride, as Tet McMillan. Now, Mr. 41, I don't know if I think you were talking to producers when I told LT. I recently traded for Tet McMillan. I did a trade in my Atlanta league, one of my big money leagues. I traded
Right.
Brian Thomas Jr. for Tet McMillan and Jamison Williams. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Jameson Williams was a throw-in, but he's a guy that could pop off anytime. And if you're in a double flex league, that's why I think Jameson Williams in double flex leagues is a perfect buy low candidate to see if people want to go out and get him and take a chance because he's still getting target. He's still getting. He just hadn't had game script in his favor yet, but that could change against Kansas City, folks. So that's another thing I like. Just Jameson Williams, his price keeps dropping in. I would take him in cash games though because you need more stability in cash games. Tournament play, Jameson Williams is a perfect play. But for this purposes, mini draft, Tet McMillan. I'm going with Tet McMillan. You say, why are you going with a guy that has a bunch of catches and a bunch of yards? Look who he's playing, Mr. For One. Who's Carolina playing this week, if you want to tell the folks?
Oh, Dallas.
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 Dallas!
Oh, Alice. They're playing Alice.
That's right. So that's why I was going to let Mr. 411 tell the fan. It's like, hey, why is calculator? Hey, I'm taking. You talk about the Jets. I'm treating the same people with Dallas. You get an alpha receiver in what they're going to have, and Carolina's going to have to throw the ball. They're not going to. They're not going to because I'm telling you, because Tet McMillan. The reason Miami are because Dallas. Put it this way. A lot of people say, why didn't we get Rico Dowdle? Yes, Dowdle is going against Dallas next week. But do you think Jerry Jones is going to let that defense let Dowdle run all over them? No, they're going to stop the run. And this is what teams should do against against the Panthers. Make Bryson Young beat you. We saw Dowdle can beat you. Dowdle beat Miami, right? But I'm telling you, Bryce Young will not beat you So I think that game plan will be in effect. I think they'll I think Eberflus, the former head coach, who is a defensive genius in my opinion. I think he'll stop Dowdle and force Bryce Young to throw the ball, and that's where Ted McMillan will have to come into effect. They didn't have to throw the ball beat Miami because Dowdle got 200 yards, So I think that was pretty interesting. So Mr. 4-1, round it off with your tight end.
All right, I'm gonna go with Trey, same first name as my son, and McBride. So I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Trey McBride at tight end.
And that's why I didn't say anything. I said there's really only one choice for you to get. But yeah, that's the choice. That's the choice because they need to. Although the one thing that is worrying about me, Brad, it does look like Marvin Harrison Jr. is actually catching the ball now. So that
Yeah,
could actually cut into his production because a lot of his throws was after Marvin Harrison Jr. had a cut. And I'm telling you, Arizona's got to just be kicking themselves after that lost to Tennessee. So I think they're going to try and get up early and keep their foot on the pedal at this time. So yeah, let's. This is ended. Miss for one. You got Mahomes, McCaffrey, Nakua. Man, that's a good team right there. Possible weekly winners at every position. I went with Josh Allen. I went with Kyron
yep,
Williams based on matchup. Went Ed McMillan matchup and Tyler Warren just because he is a stud. LT going with Jane Daniels. He says, "Welcome back, Jane Daniels. Hey, top 3 quarterback preseason. Going nice little matchup with him. Jonathan Taylor, the running back one on the season. Can't go wrong with that. Amon St. Brown, what could be a shootout in Kansas City, and Jake Ferguson, the always reliable Jake Ferguson against a bottom 25 ranked against tight ends in Carolina. So that's our mini draft, Mr.
hey
411.
man, awesome man. Mini draft, Larry's LT's favorite part of the show, the mini draft.
Yeah.
All
Two
right,
weeks in a
Oh
row.
yeah.
yes
Yep,
sir.
yep, and
All
just
right,
not winning. He's been dominating, Mister 411.
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
that hey, that's all right. You took his lucky charm in Nakua, so he won't have Nakua being able to get him his 25
Oh,
plus points every week. So that was a good. Hey, like I said, I wasn't letting him get Nakua if I'm picking before LT. So if you didn't get him, I was going to get him. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more even this week.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun week in the mini draft. So, and hey,
Yep.
listener league, man, it's heating up. I mean, playoff spots are wide open for everybody. Just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? We've heard the stories about, and there's some living testimonies right here in front of you on the screen that have won championships from the sixth position,
Yep.
made the playoffs when it looked like you had no chance of getting in. And the hardware is there for the proof. I mean, calculator, you can pull out what you have. LT is always right there on the screen. Look right there. Look, he's pointing at it now. Like LT, has the hardware to prove it as well. And so, like, this is for everybody that play fantasy football. Don't give up
So,
because you never know when your team's going to get hot and take over. So keep it rolling.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, what you look? What you grabbing there, calculator? Like you was leaning over something over there. Uh-oh, breaking in a little bit. Oh,
oh yeah.
okay. Okay. Yep. There we go. All
There we
right.
go.
Oh, and it lights up. All right. There's some more hardware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. We got.
Not it lights up. I say, yep, yep. They
All
got
right.
some hardware.
Yeah. So here we go. Well, all right. So it's
Yep.
not over, people. Enjoy the week. I mean, week 5. I appreciate you guys coming on again, dropping the knowledge. Make sure you go back and watch it, people. You can get some information that can help you in your league or in your leagues because a
Yeah, I
lot of
hope
you
the
play
people that
multiple leagues.
yeah, I hope those people picked up Theo Johnson in the last minute. Last week. If you have Brock Bowers, Theo Johnson definitely bailed those people out.
Yeah. All right. LT, anything before we get out of here? Anything you want to close us out with?
Yeah, just hoping to
All
get
right.
the let's try for a three-peat. I'm trying for a three-peat this week.
All right. All right, let's get it then. All right, well, that's the end of this show today. Make sure you go to 401 Sports World Network on
Yep.
YouTube, Mr. 411 on TikTok and Instagram. and share the show because sharing is caring. For the calculator, for LT, I'm Mr. 401.